forms of moralism. You the most moral people on the planet and all, and catching hell. You understand what I'm saying? It no matter how, you know what I'm saying? Good things happen to bad people all the time, and bad things happen to good people every damn time. You see what I'm saying? So that whole moralism thing don't even pan.
You let them.
You see what I'm saying? So my point is about this all-omnipotent force that takes care of things. That's some bullshit. You see what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, the heaven realm is some of the most cutthroat niggas in the world right now. The heaven realm is really.
You said something about us being in a different cycle right now.
Yeah.
Not the cycle of love, but we gotta.
No, there is a love. That love is not. See, the love that they're talking about is the love of the heart chakra. That love of the heart chakra is an interaction between you and your mate and opening up and surrendering to it. But not all this whole love, everybody bullshit.
That's not love. That's an illusion.
I mean, come on. You don't know every damn body. And 98% of most people you even meet is assholes, including black people. You don't want to know some nigga. You don't want a nigga to knock on your door. Or a couple shit, the next day it might be damn $400. But you know that nigga come and stay, say, I'm staying for a week and stay 3 years. But my point here is, that love is false. That's religiosity and was something that was taken off of the main gnosis or knowledge of what they're talking about, opening up the heart chakra. And that's surrendering to a power when it comes to you. It's really humbling yourself to the love of your mate. And you know what? It's amazing because you know what? About this heart chakra thing? You could have been in love 50 years ago. And you can tap back in and fall back in love. But open up that heart chakra, you can revisit that because that's all in the Akashic records and stuff like that. No, so it's always there. It's always inside of the cells of the body and stuff. It's a force. It is melanin. It is love is chaos. Now, what do they mean by love is chaos? Because see, in the ancient world, when you fell in love, they say you have my condolences. That way you can deal with it. Because when you fall in love, your ass in trouble. It waxes and it wanes. They just the Western romanticism just teaches the romantic side of it, the happy ending side of it, but they don't teach it. But in the ancient world, it was a yin and yang. It was both sides of a polarity. So it was blissful, then it was madness. And so when you catch this thing here, now this is anybody ever really been in love? I'm talking about some real deal. That brother just came back to the planet, so obviously he must have was in love in his prior life. And he remember that now. I'm talking about the real deal love thing, whereas it's a form of insanity. That's actually good, though. That's actually good. You just have to surrender to it, because what it does, you have to neutralize the ego. So see, it's insanity because you put up a resistance because of the ego. Fuck her ass. You know, and you feel good for a minute, and like I say, about 12 o'clock that night, when you find out it ain't going nowhere, you okay. But you're supposed to surrender. And once you surrender, you go to a whole blissful thing. So it's learning how to gestate between two polarities and stuff. So that is a whole form. That's another force. That's a form of melanin also, because melanin never stops moving. It never stops moving. So that's a whole other science. Give me some questions.
I got one.
Okay, this is here again. What's that? Okay.
The black hole has come.
Yeah.
So we are in our time of power.
Well, that's right.
Would you give me 3 things that will help us to harness that power?
Okay. The first thing here is condition your mind to become like a person in elementary school. You know, children have vivid imaginations. And we used to be that way. Then we go through puberty in high school, and you don't supposed to be dealing with that stuff. That's when you really die. Then you become an adult with responsibilities on the conventional way of life. We're talking about chaos now, so what you're going to have to do is overhaul all conventional ways of thinking. You're going to have to think like an animal. Sexually, socially, economically. You're going to have to think like a juvenile, because you're going to have to reverse the polarities of what they call grown. Becoming grown, you die. The energy is distinguished, because what happens is chaos. Whenever you put it in a box, it's chaos. You got to go with the flow. Whenever you put it in a box and try to organize it, it dies. That's why Western society is not good for us. That's why business and all other shit ain't good for us. Because when you try to organize it, it goes, you see what I'm saying? That's why you think our business, see what I'm saying? You gotta go with the flow. So on one thing, you got to eliminate all responsibility. I talk about how I don't make my bed. Since I moved in this house, I ain't made my bed. And I remember my mama used to make her bed. She's a school teacher. She ain't never made her damn bed. But she ain't never been sick. You see what I'm saying? She never been sick. Now her sister, she even organized the goddamn pencils. By length. Chronic arthritis and all kind of stuff. Grandmother always trying to deal with all this stuff on a certain rigid level. Always sick. You understand what I'm saying? You see, so you're going to have to, that's the first thing. You're going to have to go, that's the first thing you need to do, is to go with the flow on that particular aspect. Another thing here is, don't spend so much time trying to figure out what you can do physically, but figuring out what you can do mentally, trying to understand. The spirit realm is not a physical phenomenon. It is a spiritual phenomenon. Okay? So, a lot of times, don't even think of what you think is spiritual in the physical sense is not necessarily that way. Anyway, it's something totally different. It's so different till it'll scare your ass. You see what I'm saying? But accept it. But accept it. So, one thing here is you're in a system of studying. But see, now the Afro-Centric community is stuck right now. We sit around and we worry about how fucked up the black community is, and we get a high on that, on how niggas is messed up and how all this kind of thing here, and how we gonna get out of this and stuff like that. No. Get rid of that right now, because first of all, let's cut to the chase. I'll give it to you plain and simple. You ain't gonna build no new black nation. Go hang that shit up. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't going back to Africa and build no new thing, all this. So, but you gotta understand. You gotta understand what the text said. The text said, caterpillar, cocoon, butterfly. Not caterpillar, cocoon, caterpillar. We were pre-human stage. I'm not talking about no ape people. I'm talking about we were in a spiritual realm. Then the vibratory realm fell, and we became physical dense bodies. And these bodies is used as a prison, but it's also a cooking mechanism to ferment the soul so it can illuminate into a glorified spirit. You see what I'm saying? So you got to stop thinking like a human. We're not going to go back to be better humans. This is not about improving your human life. Been there, done that, got the goddamn t-shirt. This is about going to the spiritual realm. You said, damn, tell me that shit in the Christian church, though. No, but it was all the way different. But we're talking about taking things and trying to understand the spiritual aspect. You see what I'm saying? Fall in love with death. Not to necessarily that you want to die in the aspect, but what you want to do is you want to give up most things that is very important in your life. You see what I'm saying? You got to eliminate all this stuff. You're going to have to learn how to flow with this thing. And in so many words, you're going to have to stop being human. Number two, cut off at this particular point. You might love them from afar, but any motherfucker who ain't down with this stuff, they be family members, mama, daddy, children. Cut them loose in the aspect is, and when I say cut somebody loose, I'm not talking about where you got to shut up in the house. What it is stop trying to teach them something. You got to do your thing and be on your agenda. You see what I'm saying? On your agenda, and all, but it's not based on ego where you're trying to learn something to go out and knock somebody over the head with it. You understand what I'm saying? They gonna get the way you're going before you. See, each one of us know a couple of hundred people, a couple of dozen people. You are, because you are conscious, they don't have to be conscious. You are the perfecting agent for them. This is how this thing goes. So when you look and say, oh, niggas are dead and niggas are back, and they are fucked up. But there's a mystery. They have to go through all, you know what, they the one that went through all the sacrifice and all the people in prison and all that stuff so you could get what you had to get. So you have to focus on what you're going to do because they are going to be, they're going to go where you're going because of you. You are the head of the snake. They are the tail. So don't be worried about this whole revolutionary thing, how all the black people talking about how we going black people on the rise. Black people ain't on no damn rise. So we're talking about right now is to focus in and try to get anything that you can on anything cosmic and anything spiritual. Now remember this, the black hole is not out there. This is called the petty universe. The Michael Talbot's book, The Holographic Universe. That universe out there don't exist. That's called a petty universe. The universe exists inside of you. The black hole is your heart chakra. That's where this thing is. It's in your heart chakra. It's in your heart chakra. But you neutralize the ego through the heart chakra by not worrying about this foolishness out here. And go by what your spirit say. You see what I'm saying? Go by what your spirit say. So it's a combination of things. It's a combination of things. All I'm saying in a nutshell, kid, is don't run out and do a whole lot of physical things as you think. Well, we got to organize. We got to do all that kind of. We ain't organizing shit. Out of their minds. Half of them clones anyway. So right now it's to, you know what I'm saying? It's to focus on what you can spiritually, and what you can spiritually, and all. You know what's that, sister? You had a question?
You know, like as far as concerning college, or they're proposing to charge, does that mean basically the internet in general? Should we not use it like user friendly like they want?
Just like anything else and stuff, you can find information on that, and there's great information on the internet and all this type of thing, you know. But we're gonna have to learn how to do without a lot of damn things. You know what I'm saying? It's like my gas got cut off this summer. When I was like, well, hell, it's 80 degrees outside.
Don't rush.
Still, I need some damn heat. And that was fine up until about a couple of weeks ago. But shit still cut off. But I said, damn, wait a minute, hold on now. I remember when I growing up in the house, we didn't have no central air. We had a fireplace, or we had a heater in this room. You go in the hallway, it might be cold. I just went back to my childhood, or went back, I'm like, damn, I ain't far removed from when I was a teenager. You got one cold part out, so I put a space heater in my room, in the bedroom, and I put a space heater in the den where I sit. You know what I'm saying? But right now, and all summer, I just took cold showers. There's a science to it. You get in, you put your shoulder in, you warm it up, put the water, and after a while, there's a science and stuff like that, And you can do it. So my point here is, you know what I'm saying? But I got to go get me some gas before that baby drops. But I was able to go about the last 5 months without it now, till the real frost come. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, in Atlanta, that don't come till January. You see what I'm saying? But the point I'm trying to say here is we can do without a lot of things. So I don't think that's really a big focus. You know what I'm saying? Based on the email, here we got telephones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What about cell phones? I mean, I'm basically talking about...
Well, the whole concept here is, the whole concept with the cell phones and with all of that type of thing here is, that's a concept of how they locking us down. The only reason why you begging to be a slave when they take all these rights away is because you've been used to so much doggone convenience, stuff, needful things. So the more you do without, the better it is for you. Now, don't necessarily mean you got to go and put on a robe and put on some sandals and get your big stick and walk around like Moses. You got some niggas in Atlanta do that shit.
We used to steal the meter. When our electricity was cut off. We go over to an abandoned apartment, take that meter off and plug it in. We learned some stuff.
Yeah, see, all that. Turn that water on with that
We
little
never got arrested.
you know, all kinds
We
of
got
stuff.
away with it for 6 months.
You know, so I'm just saying, you know, but you're going to have to, you know, there's something, but be honest with you. By us being a people who are just, we're not going to be the ones to suffer on this one. It's going to be, you know, we're just going to be reminded that we've been suffering all along. But it'll be business as usual. It's going to be white folks. You see what I'm saying?
I got a question.
Yeah.
2 questions.
Yeah.
The first question, I want you to thoroughly deal with the putrefaction of black people and what that all means in alchemy.
Yeah.
And also I want you to help to demystify this Masonic order and the secrets they don't got that they say they got.
Yeah, okay.
The black.
Okay, well, let's deal with
Oh, wait, and comment if you can on black people joining white ones. I need to understand that.
Yeah, okay. First of all, now, first of all, let's demystify this because all black people is Prince Hall Masons, 99.999% of them don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. It ain't got nothing to do with no ancient mystical mystery system. And if you got a brother in there that's tied this stuff in, it's because he did some additional studying on his own. But my granddaddy was a damn Prince Hall, and he got that shit in one day, and he couldn't even read. Half the niggas couldn't even read with the turn of the damn century, but all of them was Masonic thing. That's a social order. Drinking liquor and driving cab. That ain't got nothing to do with the ancient mystery system whatsoever. Most black Masonic organizations, as far as the what you call it on. And if there is somebody that's dealing with some stuff, that means they made it a point to deal with this stuff by an additional study. But as far as the black Masons that you see, they don't have no secrets. So I don't know what Steve Copeland's going on this kind of thing here, maybe because he was never one. But I was in that shit, and I'm trying to tell you, them niggas don't even know they goddamn ABCs, let alone some ancient knowledge. I challenge anybody up in here to say any Prince Hall Mason got anything to do with real Egyptian mystery system. That is a big joke. Now whether that's, now the white ones, that's a whole other thing because they were taught by the Moors. But even the average Joe Blow out there, it's a pyramidal structure. Some of them crackers down there on the pyramid don't know nothing. But the elite have harbored our secrets and preserved some of our particular aspects and all of secrets. But the key to this thing here is there are no secrets. I don't give a damn right now and all. Right now and stuff, there are no secrets that you can't read in a book. It's just that reading is obsolete. So therefore, we are non-literary society. Illiterate society. You can put it all in books. So there's no secrets that you can't get. You see what I'm saying? So this whole thing about a black Masonic order, well, you got your little boule and all that kind of thing, and you might have some people that's in a Masonic order that's sold out to the government. And in so many words, the only thing I know of is the Prince Hall and all this smooth ass little whatever these things is. They got to sign an order that they don't bear arms to the to the government. But then again, that's a lot of NAACP got to do the same thing, got to sign this thing. Right. But what I'm trying to say here is there's not, the black Masons ain't walking around with no fucking secrets. Now, anybody want to challenge me on this shit right now?
Well, what you mean by it?
What I'm trying to tell you right now, if you got some damn secrets, you got them from study. You didn't get them from joining no fucking Prince Hall order. Now come on and challenge me now, because I'm the motherfucker to deal with on this shit. Now let's go with it now and see if you got some whatchamacallit all. You can challenge me on this stuff, because I know the mystery system. Now we can go with it now.
You right, it is no...
I'm saying whatever you got because you did some additional studying. You didn't do because you joined a particular organization. If you did, it's something that you all got together and had a consensus that you all was going to go through some material. But you didn't join no Prince Hall or no Smooth Ashler or whatever these things is. They got no knowledge. Now, you can challenge me on this thing right now, because I'm going to ask you the real true thing of masonry, and you better come with it now, but I don't think you really know. I know you don't know.
Ask the question.
I know right now, if I ask you to give me the true meaning of masonry, you will come and you will give me a good explanation, but you can't give me the true meaning of masonry. I know you don't know.
Okay, well, ask me the question.
What is the true meaning of masonry?
It's the building of the body, the building of the temple.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
The physical body.
Right.
It's dealing with the throat chakra, the heart chakra,
Yeah,
and the
okay,
navel
right,
chakra.
yeah, right. But you are right in so many words, but then again, that's a discipline everybody know, even in the yoga system and all that kind of thing.
However,
Now, but when you say the word,
activating those chakras,
yeah.
The study of
Now,
melanin.
but when they talk about masonry, the word masonry, the origin of it comes from stones. But it ain't talking about no Solomon's temple. Solomon's temple is the physical body. Solomon, OGI, black and comely, is the physical body. Solomon is Osiris. First of all, you get the word Sol, which means sun, Amen, which means hidden sun. That's Osiris, the hidden god, the black sun, and all this here. But when you say the word stone, masonry, that comes from the word alchemy.
okay.
That's the mystery. And ain't no goddamn black masons, no alchemists. So the word alchemy, in the body, every mineral, every alloy, every stone that is in the universe is inside of us. But it's scattered throughout the whole central nervous system. When you open up the heart chakra, or whenever you raise the kundalini or open the chakras, you pull together these particular alchemical components, and they form the perfect stone, which is called the philosopher's stone. The stone that the builders reject will become the cornerstone. The philosopher's stone, which is the pineal gland, the third eye. That's the coming together of the central nervous system, coming all up to one smooth diamond, which is melanin, the third eye being radiated in the crown chakra. You see what I'm saying? In the crown chakra. Now, most Masons don't even know. They don't even know the ancient arcane art of alchemy, the raw art of the black art of Osiris. So even there's the chakra system, but the chakra system is the wheels of life. But the basis of this thing is alchemy. The negrito, melanosis, which is a word also. The royal art of the black rites of Osiris, before it was called Masonry. Masonry is just a new name. Before it was Masonry, before it was the Temple of Solomon, the Temple of Karnak, the Temple of Luxor, the Temple of Dendera, the Temple of Esna, the Temple of Komombo, the Ramessean, and all those type of things. And even those represent the physical body. So you are partly right on that type of thing. But don't tell me there's some black motherfuckers know about this shit here, because they still thinking it's the 33 years of Jesus Christ. I'm talking about 200 Prince Hall, and he smooth ass 2 million of them. There's 2 million of them in America. Now, 2 million black men had some knowledge. We'd have been out of this shit. You see what I'm saying? We'd have been out of this thing here and all. I'm trying to say here. So I'm just trying to say, if there is some brothers that's dealing with this thing, they're dealing with this thing because they did some additional study themselves. Not because they joined a fucking black Masonic organization.
No Duncan ritual.
No Duncan ritual complete. And all of the white boy don't even use no damn more. And all the little signs and symbols and stuff. That's just the stuff that was made up over the last 700 years. And stuff like that. Now, which really, which is, it's the ritual based on the law. The white boys use the Dobbs ritual, which was one that the black man in Atlanta wrote years. They abandoned that, and they used the one that we used, because what happened was the Duncan Ritual Complete, which is the Masonic book that they used. Black people couldn't use it at first. So there was a guy by the name of Charles Wesley Dobbs. Wrote a book called the Dobbs book. And that's the one that the black Masons used. And then when they let the black people use the Duncan Ritual Complete, guess what? The white Masons start using the Dobbs Ritual. They figure this shit come out of some black people. They figure it's more authentic than the shit they use. So they use the Dobbs now. Because this nigga got this shit out of his brain. And they know melanin and stuff. So they use the Dobbs. Now they use our book that the niggas was using in the 1930s. Written by Dobbs, which is the grandfather of Maynard Jackson, which is one of the first black mayors in Atlanta. That's the reason why he was that man, all this type of thing here and stuff, you see. So it's but what I'm trying to say here is the black Masons, we demystified it. They don't know jack shit. They don't know jack shit. You can't initiate in no lodge and they're going to give you nothing. That's bull. You see what I'm saying and all? That's bull. They don't know nothing and all. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to say. So that whole concept, like the brother, like, I'm a Mason, I know you shit, you just, well, man, they don't know anything as far as, Now, going back to this particular thing here, our plight, our degeneration and our degradation, our atrophy and our our amalgamation, our rot, our putrid, festering feces that we have degenerated into is actually good. Now the physical body is a prison that we have fallen into and thinking that this is the real us. It's the illusionary. We grew this body. We came from a pre-physical world, a pre-physical world, a spiritual world, where the physical world was like little faint shadows. And the spiritual world was visible. As the spiritual world, the vibratory rate started to slow down. As the vibratory rate started to slow down, the spiritual world started to become invisible and the physical world started to become visible. And we gained these physical bodies, and all of the physical senses, the spiritual senses, shut down to 5 senses. This is all, let me give you some documentation, because I like to document. This is all in a book called, 2 books, Universe, Earth, and Man by Rudolf Steiner, who got a lot of Moorish manuscripts and translated this stuff, and another one in his book called Cosmic Memory, Rudolf Steiner. Excellent book. Universe, Earth, and Man by Rudolf Steiner, still in print. One called Cosmic Memory by Rudolf Steiner. Any of those books there, let me know when you okay. So we became into this particular physical body. This physical body is an entrapment of the soul. Now, what happens is this. The great mystery to the Matrix. What is the Matrix? You saw the movie The Matrix. The Matrix in reality is the human brain. This brain is what tells you that this falsehood is real. It sends signal to the body and tell you this is real. So the human brain is the Matrix. Now, because we don't use our brain and become subhuman, that's good. Now, what I mean by that, let's say if you get your eyes, if your eyesight goes, your hearing becomes better. If your hearing goes, your eyesight becomes better. Because our brains are shutting down and we don't use them, and that means that there's a brain up under the brain, which is the pineal brain. It's a brain. It's a intelligence. When this brain shuts down, the other brain comes online. You get it? So our putrefaction is actuality birthing a new world. They ever tell you how, because they tell you meditation is what? Stilling the body, quieting the body, and shutting down the brain so that the spirit can take over. Well, our brains are shutting down any damn way. You see what I'm saying? So what's happening here is humanity, which we are the humans they're talking about, is redoing itself. Because the other things are shutting down. So it's just like any other type of thing, whereas you have shit turns into fertilizer. So putrefaction gives birth to something new. You see what I'm saying? That's why your soul, see, you thinking that this body is you, your soul is down in the gastrointestinal tract, up under the intestines. That's why they tell you in some of the scriptures, and especially the Gnostic scriptures, they say go down and recover the pearl that resides near the ravenous dragon. Well, the great dragon is also the intestinal tract, and up under there is a little small seed, an invisible seed, and in that invisible seed is who you are. So in actuality, that little bit invisible seed is what's actually, you're actually looking out of these 2 eyes and thinking that this physical body is you. It's a little seed up in there, little nano seed, and that's who we are. That's who we are. Little particle of light. Now that little particle of light that's inside of us, you ever take a match and strike a match and put it up against this white wall? You'll see this soot that comes up. Well, the melanin is being produced by that little light. You see what I'm saying? Now, there's a difference between having, that's your soul. Now, not everything has a soul.
So a white man don't have a soul.
No. Everything on the planet has a spirit. That's why the white people, and they got over talking about the celebration of the spirit. Everything has a spirit. A roach has a spirit. A hog has a damn spirit. A rat has a spirit. A spirit is what moves across. It's the process that moves. It's the energy that moves across the face of the earth. Everything has a spirit. Everything don't have a soul. We're the only ones that have souls because the simple fact, a soul was pre-existent prior to creation. Our world is built off of several other worlds that emanates from. Now, you got to take my word for it. Get the Hermetic text, and we got a document. Get Walter Scott's Hermetica. Get Walter Scott's Hermetica, and they talk about how you got some people with souls and some not. This is what the Egyptians say, so I don't want to say that I'm giving you any racism and shit like that, no, but I know y'all live a damn minute and all. So let's see what the damn Egyptians say or what the Africans say. So you blame that shit on them goddamn niggas over there in Hemmitt 2,000 years ago. So I really don't give a damn whether you know, care what I say and all. Like I say, I ain't got no damn gas. It don't even matter. You see what I'm saying? I don't have no gas. I make less than $10,000 a year, and my goddamn girlfriend hauled ass from me a year ago. Got tired of the bullshit. A year ago, so I'm already, you know, pretty much. I ain't got a dog gonna make no good friends and all. Keep on your side to uphold this great enclave of prosperity and shit by lying to you. You know, by lying to you. Like I said, I'm liable to go in there and wash my drawers in the sink. I said, well, I got some. I ain't got a wash machine, but I got some Clorox and I got some damn dishwashing liquid. I'm liable to go do a bubble bath with some lemon fresh joy. I improvise. Now that shit's antibacterial on your ass. You understand what I'm saying? I'm liable to run out of goddamn toilet tissue, and I go up in there and got some damn napkins or some shit that I got from eating from some fast food restaurant. Y'all do the same thing too. I'm just a crazy motherfucker. Y'all do it too. Drop something on the floor and eat it all in your house. I'm just crazy enough to admit it. Y'all do the same thing. Oh, this nigga, no, you do the same thing too. You gotta wipe your ass with some napkins when you run out. When you run out of toilet paper, that's the scariest shit in the world. You know, there's a newspaper. You gotta get you some paper napkins or whatever. Now let's be real with this shit. So I ain't gotta lie. But get her a minute. But the point I'm trying to make is our world was built off of several other primal worlds. There's a book on the primal worlds, a book called Kabbalistic Universe by Zev Simon Halvey. It's called Kabbalistic Universe. It's called a primal world. Our world, but prior to this particular creation, existed several other primal worlds, and we used to be a part of those primal worlds. And those souls that's in you pre-existed prior to creation. Anything that's created after that is a counterfeit spirit.
So if it doesn't have melanin as a being of no...
Well, see, number one, that soul is what produces melanin. Now, everything down there has to have some form of carbon.
Right.
So white people do have some type of melanin. But the stuff that produces the melanin, that it makes you black, and it doesn't necessarily have to be your skin color on the outside. It's inner also. You see what I'm saying? That stuff is produced by the soul. There's a soul melanin produced by the soul. Then there's something that everything down there has to have some form of melanin because we live in a carbon system. Hell, the whole triple blackness of space is carbon. You see what I'm saying? I know we got some questions. What's that?
I have a question. Okay, you said this is a time that's powerful for black people. How would you go, okay, on a daily life, build your daily life, you read your books, you know,
yeah.
So how would you go about it? I work for you as postal service.
Yeah.
Now how do you deal with these crazy people you work with? Are you just lay low and just...
You don't have to, because you're going to wear yourself thin. Because you're in an animal house, you're in a mental institution.
It's true, though. You know.
You're in a mental institution. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you don't want to burn up all your energy. You got to know when to throw in the damn chips. Throw in the rag. Throw in the towel. We live in the land of Mammoth. This is Even the Bible and all these religions talk about these last days when it's just going to be complete, insane. It's a mad, mad world. Now, so this time now here is, I mean, so right now, you can do what you have to do, but I'm going to be honest with you, you burn up a lot of energy messing with what they call the goyim, the masses, or the insane. There got to be a priesthood that's got to walk through this. Your consciousness now have to stand for something. But you saying, damn, I came in this consciousness, but black people are all messed up. What am I supposed to do? You are supposed to be the doggone fountainhead for them. But you got to, now is the time to line up with stuff spiritual. You see, all the marching. Okay, I don't.